Have you caught wind of the latest leak from Gervonta Davis's training camp? Have you wondered just how far Super Tank will go to avenge that controversial draw with Lamont Roach? Prime TV's cameras panned across a steely-eyed Davis as he stormed into the gym in Washington, D.C., counting down to another punishing session. 9, 8, 7, power 6, 5, power 4. It's clear he hasn't thrilled his hometown fans since that knee dropped against Roach, and this time he's determined to leave no doubt. Calvin Ford, the trainer who oversaw Tank's early rise and then watched him stumble without his guidance, has been reinstated. It's a reunion born of necessity. Davis's performance without Ford at his side was lackluster, and the rematch demands perfection. Before dawn breaks, Davis hits the pavement for a grueling jog through the misty streets of the nation's capital. That morning ritual sets the tone. No shortcuts, no mercy. He follows it with stretches that would shame a circus contortionist, then demolishes breakfast like it's a mandatory prelude to greatness. By mid-morning, he's back in the ring, shadowboxing so fiercely that the lights flicker. Or maybe it's just Tank's reputation casting a long shadow. His mitt work is surgical, each jab and hook dissected by Ford's discerning eye, honing speed at the expense of showboating. Tank has never been one to bulk up. He famously ribbed an opponent for his heavy physique. But after Roach's punches slid off him like rain on slick pavement, he's embraced the iron. The camera catches him curling weights with the same intensity he once reserved for that standout right cross. His chest and shoulders swell beneath his shirt, a bold message to Roach: muscle won't slow me down. It'll propel me straight through you.
Do you want that rematch next? And if so, how likely it is that we're to see that fight happen again this year?
I'm not sure, bro.
When most fighters loaf through a heavyweight opponent from a lower division, they coast. Not Davis. His first encounter with Roach ended in a scorecard stalemate, but for Super Tank, a draw feels more like a loss. The man from Baltimore refuses to let that blot tarnish his record. Every rotation of the head, every snap of the jab, carries the weight of redemption. He's rebuilt the camp, reassembled the corner team, and reignited the fire that made him a world champion.
I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before... Nah.
Ford reflects on their youth, sparring in dingy gyms long before the bright lights of title cards. He recalls how Roach's forward pressure tested Tank's reflexes, how that silver gloves rivalry forged mutual respect and lifelong grudges. Now, with both men seasoned by adversity, the rematch becomes the latest chapter in a storied rivalry. The coach's grin betrays a sly confidence. He's ready. He always was.
It probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
Social media buzzes with skepticism. Why this theatrics for a fight that doesn't top Tank's resume? Critics point to Ryan Garcia and Isaac Cruz as tougher assignments, but Davis's calendar is ticking. He's hinted at retirement, and this may be his last hurrah. If his swan song ends in a draw, his legacy will be overshadowed by what-ifs. Better to storm through Roach like a hurricane than exit with unanswered questions.
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
Well, what is?
You might see it in a minute. You definitely might see it in a minute.
Footage of Davis grappling on the mats, calibrating his core with pirouettes that defy logic, shows a man obsessed. Core strength isn't glamorous, but in the crucible of an 8-round slugfest, it's the difference between stamina and surrender. He moves with cat-like agility, weaving around punches in slow motion, only to explode into a counter that rattles the bag. That glimpse of fury reminds fans why they once feared him. Weight cutting has haunted Tank's career. He's missed it more often than he'd admit, but this time, he jogs alongside his trainer, each step a measured approach to hitting the scale without last-minute panic. No more frantic sauna sessions that sap his power. Ford oversees every calorie. Every gulp of water is rationed like precious cargo. Discipline has become his bouncer. Only the strongest intentions get past the velvet rope. Between sessions, Davis's face appears on TV screens as pundits dissect his every twitch. Leonard Ellerby, Tank's promoter, offers sage observations. Boxing is brutal. Many fighters leave the ring battered in more ways than one. But Ellerby also reminds everyone that the show must go on. Whether Davis fights again after August 16th depends on what happens in Roach's hometown backyard.
Tank want a rematch. Do you let me know now? Do you want to fight Tank again? He said he open to do a rematch. Do you want to fight Tank
100%.
Ellerby's calm pragmatism contrasts sharply with Tank's simmering intensity. Veteran voices chip in. Timothy Bradley Jr. warns that styles make fights. If Roach's grit and pressure unsettled Davis once, he can do it again. Bradley's words sting like a jab. Tank's got power, but Roach can take it. The commentary adds dramatic layers. Is Davis's fear of embarrassment, public mockery, what truly drives him? Pride, after all, is a powerful motivator. Rumors swirl that Jake Paul awaited Tank's next move. A showdown with the YouTube phenom hung in the balance until that draw forced a detour. Plans shelved, invoices shredded, two camps left plotting in the dark. Now, August looms as the final act before ambitions shift to entertainment fights or life beyond the ropes. For Davis, every decision feels momentous. Every punch training might become the one last hurrah. Spectators lean in as the countdown to fight night begins. Every tweak of Davis's stance is analyzed. Is he wider now, bracing for inside work? Or more compact, ready to unload power shots? Sparring partners report bruises like medals of honor. They speak of a fighter possessed, each bell summoning him to battle before the battle begins.
It's only a matter of time. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight again. It's just whenever the fight gonna happen.
So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Dana White and the TKO deal hover on the horizon. Boxing's landscape changes with every broadcast contract signed. Davis's next destination, ESPN, DAZN, Netflix, depends on his performance. A convincing win over Roach could secure a premium slot, bigger payday, and global exposure. A stumble, though, could leave him scrambling for scraps. As the leak footage fades out, viewers are left breathless. They've seen Tank's sweat, his raw determination, and the scars, both visible and hidden, that fuel his journey. They ponder Roach's grit, the man who stepped into the ring without backing down, who stared down power without flinching. This rematch is more than a fight. It's a clash of legacies. The gym lights cast long shadows across the canvas as Davis's footwork drills intensified. He danced around an imaginary foe, pivoting on the ball of his foot with the grace of a ballet dancer who moonlights as a wrecking ball. Sweat dripped from his brow as he shadow-boxed against ghosts of past mistakes, each jab snapping through the air like a whip crack. Trainers watched with arms folded, eyes tracking every lean and turn, ready to pounce on any flaw. In the corner, a metronome ticked off the seconds, reminding everyone that time waits for no one. Nutrition became a clandestine mission, conducted under the cloak of secrecy reserved for high-stakes espionage. Meal prep containers lined a stainless steel countertop like regimented soldiers awaiting orders. Protein-rich chicken and fish shared space with vibrant vegetables that boasted vitamins like hidden allies. Complex carbs lurked in sweet potatoes and brown rice, ensuring energy reserves would not betray him in the later rounds. Even hydration protocols resembled a chemistry experiment, with electrolyte mixes calibrated to the milligram. Between rounds, music blasted through speakers, a curated playlist designed to thrill and intimidate. Bass lines shook the floor, each drop timed to coincide with Davis's explosive combos on the heavy bag. Trainers nodded in sync, tapping their feet as if the beat itself demanded respect. Roach's name echoed through the chorus as a mantra to channel every ounce of raw emotion. Fighting without heart, after all, would leave a hollow performance unworthy of the stage. Recovery sessions read like a science fiction script. Infrared saunas warmed muscles at a molecular level, boosting blood flow with the promise of quicker repair. Ice baths beckoned with numbing relief, daring him to plunge into bone-chilling depths. A massage therapist worked tirelessly to unknot tension, fingers hunting down each stressed fiber as though seeking an escape route. Even stretch therapists employed resistance bands to coax his limbs into positions reserved for mythical creatures. All of this formed a tapestry of care that balanced the brutal with the rejuvenating. Psychological warfare unfurled beyond the ropes, seeping into press conferences and social media. Davis's stare pierced cameras as if willing viewers to flinch. Every quote from Roach was dissected in promotional videos, edited to highlight the slightest wobble in confidence. Fans retweeted every sly dig, turning anticipation into a viral storm. In an age where hype can tip scales, both camps wielded words like weapons, sharpening each syllable until it drew blood. The rematch's promotional tour felt like a rock concert on wheels. Cities lit up with billboards showing Davis's steely glare beside Roach's determined smirk. Radio hosts debated bent scores and questionable calls, dissecting each angle with gleeful ferocity. Davis appeared on talk shows wearing suits so sharp they looked like armor. Everywhere he went, the question hung in the air. Could a man with so much to prove truly deliver? The city of Baltimore chimed in with murals and chants at local gyms where kids jabbed at punching bags the size of their aspirations. Trainers used Davis's leaked footage as a teaching tool, replaying his footwork to budding athletes hungry for inspiration. Even local politicians dropped his name in speeches, using his determination as a metaphor for resilience. His impact seeped into the cultural fabric, turning any conversation about adversity into a boxing parable.
3-9.
Lamont Roach wasn't idle either. His own gym reverberated with energy as he sharpened his counters and honed his defense. Sparring partners described sessions that felt like running a gauntlet. Roach's relentlessness left them gasping for air. His trainer drilled defensive slips until muscle memory took over, ensuring every head movement would be automatic. While Davis built muscle, Roach sculpted reflexes, emphasizing the art of avoidance as much as the thrill of impact. Media outlets speculated on equipment tweaks. Would Davis trust a lighter glove to speed up his hand speed or cling to heavier padding for extra power? Rumors of custom hand wraps infused with grip-enhancing materials circulated like urban legend. Roach's camp teased footage of innovative mouthguards designed to reduce shock to the jaw. In an era of micro-optimizations, every accessory could tip the balance between glory and defeat. As fight week dawned, both camps converged on DC for final workouts open to credentialed press. Davis emerged from the locker room shirtless, his torso a roadmap of scars and triumphs. Every ribbed muscle shone beneath a sheen of oil, a portrait of an athlete in total command of his body. Beside him, Roach adjusted his robe, face calm but eyes scanning for an opening, as though predicting Tank's next moves just by observing his breathing.
In the club with a diamond, I'm ready to slide. I'm ready to surf. I'm going berserk.
Ambush interviews tested their composure. Reporters hurled curveballs about legacy, money, and life after boxing. Davis deflected questions on retirement with humorous jabs at those who counted him out too early. Roach remained stoic, offering measured replies that hinted at deeper strategies, like a chess grandmaster plotting moves 3 steps ahead. Neither champion gave an inch, turning every answer into a piece of the overarching drama. Public workouts turned into spectator events rivaling minor league baseball games. Fans leapt between ropes, snapping photos and chanting names. When Davis landed a crisp combination on the pad, the crowd roared as if witnessing a goal in the World Cup. Roach's smooth counters drew gasps and applause, each slip of a punch a testament to flawless timing. The energy crackled, a reminder that fights are meant for the people as much as the participants. On media day, the two warriors came face to face with all the tension of a coiled spring. Their eyes locked across a table cluttered with water bottles and microphones. A bead of sweat traced down Davis's temple, evidence of nerves beneath the bravado. Roach's jaw clenched as though tasting the challenge yet to come. Photographers captured the moment in staccato flashes, freezing anticipation in the amber of a photograph.
The biggest rematches in 2025 against Gervonta Davis.
The final game plan session was a scene from a military briefing. Trainers unfurled diagrams of angles and ranges, marking where the sweet spot would lie for Davis's power shots. Roach's team countered with defensive schematics, highlighting the need to neutralize that right cross with precise foot placement. Every scribble on the whiteboard carried the weight of countless hours in the gym. Tactics weren't just words, they were blueprints for survival. Press hype reached fever pitch with countdown clocks in Times Square and theater spotlights slicing through dusk. Sports bars across the nation hosted viewing parties with cardboard cutouts of both contenders. Merchandise flew off shelves, robes embroidered with slogans, towels printed with knockout moments. Even late-night talk shows parodied their signature moves, proof that this rematch transcended the sport into cultural spectacle. Gervonta Davis considered the stakes beyond the ring. Endorsement deals beckoned like moths to a flame. Shoe brands wanted his gait immortalized in new sneaker lines. Energy drink companies eyed his sweat as proof of authenticity. Each handshake carried potential contracts that could outlive his boxing career. The pressure to perform wasn't just about pride. It was about securing a future off the canvas.
Lamont Roach in training camp, ready for one of the biggest rematches.
Meanwhile, Roach eyed his own legacy. He understood that upsetting a star could rewrite narratives and open doors usually closed to contenders. A win would catapult him into main event status, guaranteeing bigger purses and global recognition. He trained with that hunger, every drop of sweat a tribute to underdog grit. In his mind, he was carving out space where none existed, armed with nothing but heart and discipline. Fight night arrived like an earthquake. The arena trembled with the roar of thousands as spotlights danced over a fog-filled stage. Davis strode out wearing golden trunks and a hooded robe emblazoned with Super Tank in bold letters. His gloves clicked like gunshots as he removed his robe, revealing a physique honed to perfection. Roach followed, dripping sweat from a final warm-up, his entrance a study in focus as music faded and the bell approached. When those opening punches flew, it felt like witnessing history. Davis's power collided with Roach's precision, each strike a declaration of intent. The ring sprang to life with every exchange, ropes quivering under the force unleashed. Trainers shouted instructions like generals on a battlefield, urging their warriors forward. Spectators leapt to their feet, voices merging into a single thunderous chorus.
We did how many rounds? We probably did at least 8 straight.
Yeah, but you in the bag for about 8 too.
The middle rounds tested endurance. Davis's breathing came in measured bursts, each inhale a fight against lactic acid. Roach's legs burned with every march forward, yet he refused to yield an inch. They traded blows with the inevitability of titans crashing, fists blazing trails through the air. In those moments, boxing shed its sport guise and became pure drama, each second weighted with consequence. As the final round bell rang, both men raised their gloves in salute to the war they'd waged. Neither could claim the moment immediately. Both wore bruises like badges of honor. The audience held its collective breath as judges scribbled numbers that would soon seal the verdict. In those suspended seconds, the fighters locked eyes and shared a silent acknowledgement. This was why they sacrificed everything. When the decision arrived, celebration and heartbreak collided in the arena's electric atmosphere. Whether hero or vanquished, both men earned respect that transcended the outcome. Fans erupted, tears and cheers mingling in the charged air. Davis and Roach embraced in the center of the ring, warriors bound by the code of combat. Their battle would echo through boxing lore as one of the fiercest rematches in memory. And so the saga of Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach reached its climax, a story of redemption and resilience that resonated far beyond the squared circle. Each jab, each counter, each moment of doubt became part of a narrative that reminded everyone why boxing captures the imagination. Whether it ends in glory or leaves questions unanswered, the journey remains its own reward.
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left.
If you've been swept up in every punch, every twist of fate, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and sound off in the comments. Which moment stunned you the most, and who will you back in the next epic showdown? Let us know and stay tuned for more unforgettable fights.